Urgent Philadelphia Eagles fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Philadelphia Eagles updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey, Eagles fans, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you is nothing short of exciting and might just be one of the most interesting developments in the Eagles offseason so far. Today, we're going to dive deep into a story that's been buzzing around the NFL circles, one that highlights the Eagles' relentless pursuit of building a roster that's not just competitive but also dynamic and full of potential. We've seen them make some bold moves recently, and this one? Well, it might just be a game changer. Now, if you've been following the Eagles closely, you know that this team has built a reputation for being sharp in the NFL draft, always scouting for those hidden gems who can turn into starters or even stars. And this year, it was no different. The Eagles, under the leadership of their front office and coaching staff, went into the draft with clear needs and a strategic mindset. Over those 3 intense days at Lambeau Field, they targeted players who not only fit their system but also have the potential to elevate the team's performance in the upcoming season. And let me tell you, the results were impressive. They picked up some really promising rookies, guys like Jihad Campbell, the linebacker from Alabama, who's known for his athleticism and instincts. They also added Drew Kendall, an offensive lineman from Boston College, who's got the size, strength, and technique to bolster their offensive line. But what's truly fascinating isn't just the draft picks, they're just the beginning. The Eagles are also making smart, strategic moves in the undrafted free agent market, and that's where things really start to heat up. You see, the Eagles have always been savvy when it comes to undrafted free agents. They've found some real diamonds in the rough over the years, players who weren't drafted but then went on to contribute significantly to the team. And this year, they've done it again. Just after the draft, the Eagles signed a talented running back from Florida, Montrell Johnson Jr., and this is a move that's generating quite a buzz across the NFC East. Why? Because Johnson isn't just any undrafted free agent, he's a legitimate speedster with some impressive credentials. We're talking about a player who runs the 40-yard dash in an eye-popping 4:41 seconds. That's blazing fast, folks. And looking at his college production, he's accumulated nearly 300 rushing yards with a solid average of 5.4 yards per carry, plus 33 rushing touchdowns. Those numbers speak volumes about his ability to find holes, break tackles, and make those explosive plays that can shift the momentum of a game in an instant. And considering the Eagles' offensive scheme, one that emphasizes versatility, speed, and unpredictability, Johnson could be a perfect fit. Now, it's important to understand that Johnson didn't come into the draft as a top-tier prospect. Compared to other running backs in the 2025 draft class, he wasn't necessarily at the top of everyone's list. But that's what makes this story so intriguing. The Eagles saw something in him, something that maybe other teams overlooked. They saw a player with the potential to develop into a real weapon, especially as a change-up pace back or even a situational player in the red zone. His ability to catch passes out of the backfield, with 411 yards and 2 touchdowns on 61 receptions, adds a layer of versatility that the Eagles can utilize in multiple ways. But what really stands out about Johnson isn't just his speed or his college stats. It's his playing style. He's a balanced runner with good patience and endurance. His experience at Louisiana and Florida has given him a well-rounded skill set. He's not the flashiest or the fastest runner on the field, but he's smart, physical, and willing to get his hands dirty, whether it's blocking for the quarterback or pounding it in on third-and-goal situations. Those traits fit perfectly with the Eagles' philosophy of gritty, smart football. And let's not forget the context of the Eagles' current roster. They already have Saquon Barkley, who's undoubtedly their RB1, a player capable of taking over games. But depth is crucial, especially in a league as grueling as the NFL. Injuries happen, and having a reliable backup can be the difference between a playoff run and an early exit. Johnson's signing also signals that the Eagles are serious about creating a competitive environment, giving their coaching staff additional options to scheme around. Now, I want to pause here for a second, because this part is important. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Philadelphia Eagles news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the big reveal. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, let's look at what this signing really means for the Eagles' plans moving forward. First off, it's about building depth and competition. The Eagles, under Nick Sirianni's coaching, have proven that they value versatility and effort. Johnson's willingness to get physical and his pass-catching ability give him a real shot at making the roster. The coaching staff will undoubtedly put him through his paces during training camp and preseason games, evaluating how well he can adapt to the speed and complexity of NFL defenses. If he impresses, he could carve out a significant role, maybe even become a fan favorite with his tenacity and speed. But beyond just making the roster, Johnson's addition could have a strategic impact on how the Eagles approach their season. Imagine a scenario where Barkley gets a breather, and Johnson comes in with fresh legs, surprising defenses with his quickness and endurance. That kind of unpredictability can be a nightmare for opposing defensive coordinators. Plus, his ability to catch passes and block makes him a flexible piece in the Eagles' offensive puzzle, allowing Sirianni to design plays that keep defenses guessing. Looking at the bigger picture, this move is part of a broader philosophy that the Eagles have embraced, building a roster that's not only talented on paper but also deep and resilient. They're assembling a team that can withstand the inevitable injuries and fatigue that come with a long NFL season. And Johnson's signing is a testament to that strategy. It's about finding those hidden gems, players who may not have been highly touted coming out of college but who have the potential to shine under the right circumstances. And speaking of potential, it's worth noting that Johnson's college career had its ups and downs, but he showed flashes of brilliance that make him intriguing. His 1 year at Louisiana was solid, but it was really at Florida that he found his rhythm, showcasing his ability to carry the load and make those impactful runs. His rushing yards and touchdowns are impressive, but what's more impressive is his consistency and his ability to adapt to different offensive schemes. Of course, it's not just about the stats. It's about the intangibles, his work ethic, his football IQ, and his willingness to learn and improve. These qualities are often what separate players who make it from those who don't. The fact that the Eagles are giving him an opportunity speaks volumes about their scouting department's eye for talent and their confidence in his potential. Now, let's talk about the upcoming season. Expectations are high for the Eagles. Coming off a Super Bowl appearance, the team has a lot to prove. The front office and coaching staff are all about reloading and refining their roster to stay competitive. The addition of Johnson, along with their draft picks and other signings, signals that they're not resting on their laurels. They want to push for another deep playoff run, and every new piece they add has a role to play in that mission. The NFC East, as always, is shaping up to be a fiercely contested division. The Cowboys, Giants, and Commanders are all making moves, and the Eagles know they need every advantage possible. A player like Johnson, with his speed and versatility, could be a wild card that shifts the balance in their favor. Teams will have to prepare for the unexpected, especially if he finds a way to carve out a niche in Sirianni's game plan. And let's not forget the history of undrafted players making major impacts in the NFL. Many stars started their careers as undrafted free agents, players like James Harrison, Kurt Warner, and more recently, players like Philip Lindsay. It's a testament to how overlooked talent can sometimes make the biggest splash. The Eagles see similar potential in Johnson, and their track record suggests they're not just signing him for depth, they believe he can contribute in meaningful ways. As we look ahead, fans should keep a close eye on how Johnson performs during training camp and preseason. His speed, combined with his determination, could see him emerge as a fan favorite quickly. The Eagles' coaching staff is known for their ability to develop players, especially those with raw talent and a strong work ethic. If he impresses, he might even outshine some veterans and become a key component of the Eagles' offensive rotation. So, in wrapping up this big story, what does it all mean? It's a clear sign that the Eagles are serious about building a versatile, resilient, and competitive roster. They're not just relying on their established stars, they're constantly searching for those hidden gems that can make the difference in close games and playoff battles. Montrell Johnson Jr. might just be one of those gems, and if he hits his potential, Eagles fans could be celebrating a new star in the making. And now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this signing? Do you believe Johnson has what it takes to make the team and make an impact? Are you excited about the team's overall direction heading into the new season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Eagles, and I'll be back soon with even more updates, analysis, and news about your favorite team. So stay tuned, because the season is just around the corner, and there's plenty more to discuss. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Birds!